Hey guys, I'm Brad Leone from Bon Appetit. We'll do that again. Hey guys, I'm Brad from Bon Appetit, and today we're going to be talking about sous vide. It sounds fancy, but it's actually really simple. What you're doing is you're just taking your protein, you're putting it in either a vacuum sealed bag or a Ziploc bag, and you're submerging it in a water bath that is maintaining a temperature. So it's sucking water in from the bottom, heating it, and then shooting it out. And it's just continuously doing that until all of the water in your vessel is at whatever temperature you set it to. And then it's never going to cook above that. For a long time, it was very chefy, and it was kind of intimidating, and you'd only really see it at like fancy restaurants. But nowadays, the market has really changed, and there's a lot of units out there, simpler, smaller units that are designed more for the home cook. You could do a steak, you could do a whole pork shoulder, you could do lamb shanks, you could do shrimp. It all just depends on different temperatures and how long you do it. Today I'm going to be using a boneless New York strip steak, about 1.5 inches thick. Set aside some spices. It's just a little onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and then I just have some rosemary and some thyme. And then this is just the straight up Ziploc. All right, so one steak. I like to get it with a nice little fat cap. Right in the bag. You could season it all before and you put it in. I like to just take it, dump it right in, half on one side, half on the other, and then I just give it a little shake and sous vide. And then I just take a little bit of some beautiful thyme I got here and some rosemary. I like to just give it a little light bruising, release those oils, and then you shove that right in there. I usually put one on each side. Now, as you can see, if you were to just seal this, you'd have a lot of air in there. When there's air in the bag, it's kind of like a big balloon, you know, so it's going to float. And very crucial part of sous vide is that your food is submerged. It has to be, otherwise it won't cook evenly. Let me show you a nice little trick for how to get the air out of these. I like to start to seal it up. You keep one finger in there like that, and then I just have a pot full of cold water, and what I'm going to do is you put the whole bag in there, so as you push it down, all the water will push all of the air out of the bag, and then as you pull it up, just make sure you get a nice good seal. I mean, that's not too bad. So we'll put that one aside, and then I'll show you the vacuum sealer. You're putting it in either a Ziploc bag or a vacuum sealed bag. These are the vacuum bags, and they come in just a big long roll. I like to cut them a little bit longer because you got to leave room to seal. I'll show you. So yeah, the vacuum bag. So you put it right on this little line here. That's the heat element where it seals the bag, and then it does all the work. I always do a double seal. Call me crazy, but I had an incident once and never again. I was sous videing something and it was more of a marinade based. And then I came back 4 hours later and all the water was red, the machine was making noises because there was a scallion stuck up in it or something. So yeah, I always double seal. With these, it's a little harder to do that whole shake and bake, but I think I leave a little more room. I think we'll be able to get away with it. Now, very important, you want to make sure all this is clean for the most part because it can interfere with the sealing. So you place that right in there. So we'll vacuum seal this up. So yeah, it's slowly just pulling the air out. I mean, look at that. And again, I do a double seal on this end as well. All right, great. So that's double sealed up, nice and tight. We're good to go. Sous vide has come a long way. When I first started hearing about it, it was these big machines that cost $2,000. Nowadays, you know, it's under $200. You can get compact little cylinder. These are some older ones. A lot of them have analog controls where you can punch in your numbers, but this device you can only run through an app on your phone. I'm a big fan of the Joule. It's actually very simple. The interface is very easy to work with. I was a little skeptical at first. I'm kind of an analog. I like to see my buttons kind of guy, but as skeptical as I've been, I haven't found a reason why not to like it yet. As long as you can plug it in, you can put it anywhere, whether it be in a bucket, you can clip it on a cooler.
Have the people at YouTube seen your cooler collection here before?
No. We got a few coolers here. I've never done it in the bag, but I guess you probably could. Do them right in there if you want.
But it should send to you because you're moving stuff?
Yeah, that's exactly why. So as you can see, our water is set to 130 degrees. So what I like to do is place it right in the water, the jet shooting right at it, fold this over, and then I take those little clips and just clip that right on. For the vacuum sealed one, you can just drop it in. I like to drop it in behind this one, and whammo bammo. We'll set the timer for 2.5 hours. We come back and I'll show you how we cook them. Let me go get the timer real quick.
Well, wait, you can also put a timer on the Joule.
What? Oh, set a timer, that one? So apparently a nice little app here has a timer built into it. I guess it'll turn your machine off when it's done? Or just alert you. I don't know. So these have been cooking for 2.5 hours. And we're going to pull those out. We'll let these hang out for about 10-15 minutes. It makes for a better sear. So look, it looks kind of gray, kind of unattractive. And then this was the vacuum sealed one. You just cut that open. So yeah, as they're sitting out, let them air dry a little. I'm going to preheat a cast iron pan, get it ripping hot. I mean, you want to get that thing super hot. Oh, Jesus. Gabby's breaking glass.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. All right, take one. Stop the cameras. Got to wait for Knowlton to move. I just got to sneak under here real quick. Got to get my laser.
That was like a big reveal that I ruined, and now all the fans of Brad Leone are going to write things on my...
Yeah, you're going to get fucking hate mail.
I know. As much as people love Brad Leone, they hate people who aren't Brad Leone.
Damn right. He's one of them. Cool, so I got this nice little instant read laser.
Oh, you beat my eye.
Just for the fun of it, I'm going to see how hot we are now. 430 to 515. So it varies a little bit. And we're just going to let that get up to around, I don't know, 600 degrees. And then we'll throw the steaks on there. I like to pat them dry just a little bit. Moisture is the enemy of getting a good crust or a good sear. Because if you put it in there still wet, as you're building the crust, the moisture that's coming off of it is essentially going to deglaze it off. A little more salt on there. Over here to the skillet. So what I like to do actually is put a little bit of it on the meat. So I'm going to start by searing that top. Well, I'm not pushing real hard, but just enough to get a little crust going. So look, that was about, what, 15 seconds? I like to hold it for a second, let the pan recover for a minute, and then right down. Again, I give it just a little bit of a push just to get all the surface area down. It's already 130 degrees perfectly throughout the whole steak. Now you just want to build that super quick crust on a hot pan. Anyway, I'm going to turn it again. If you want to get a close-up shot, you get that crust bubbling. Ready? Cool. And again, just like a normal steak, you're going to want to let it rest. I like to put a little bit more salt on it. All right? So let's see what it looks like. Yeah. I've noticed with the sous vide steaks, though, when you first cut it, it almost looks overcooked. But as it sits, within a few seconds, it actually starts to change a shade into a nice medium. Meat comes out super tender. Let's give it the old taste test. It's kind of like a little bit of a juice bomb. You get all that garlic and onion and the aromatics from the herbs. It's delicious. So have some fun with it. You know, get yourself a sous vide machine, try different things, try some different flavor profiles. It's a real fun way to cook a little differently, set yourself up for the week, and get creative. Bon appetit. Oh, geez, who put that out there? All right, great. So what are we doing?